Hi guys, so I've heard it said so many times that necessity is the mother of invention. I'm on here tonight doing a video for you, honestly, because I am feeling so broken open. I wonder if you guys are feeling this way too. On a larger global and national sphere, many of us are feeling so broken open. So like we're not sure what to do or how to move forward. And the thing is, I was talking to my friend the other day, and I was talking to her about how triggering this time is. And it's so very triggering. Not because of what we're thinking, but because of what we're being asked to process. We're being asked to process things right now that have never occurred. And this is like a blitzkrieg. So many things are happening at once, one on top of the other. And what happens when that happens is we protect ourselves by using our defenses. And our defenses make things come out sideways. So I was talking to my friend, and she was saying, yeah, no, absolutely. We were having this conversation yesterday. And so things that normally wouldn't bother you are bothering you because you can't deal with them in a direct fashion, because you're reacting indirectly or by proxy to something else. So if things are piling up, I'm going to be just really honest. I have probably cried 6 times today. I am just a plethora of tears right now. Part of that is because of the Cancer placements that we have right now. We have Mercury in Cancer, we have Venus in Cancer. So Mercury is our communication style, right? It is how information hits us. And in Cancer, it's the 3rd house. And the 3rd house is our family, our extended family, our chosen family, right? So this speaks to very young wounds. I was aware today, as I was in one of these crying bouts, that what I was dealing with on a personal level was so young. It was so young. And I always, when I work with clients and things, I always ask them to say, how old is the person inside of you that's feeling that? And right now, because we're in the face of these things that we can't control, look at what's going on in Albania, look at what's going on with the media. The way that we're dealing with this is so childlike, because when we were a kiddo and we had something that was bothering us and maybe we couldn't even verbalize it yet, we had to trust the elders in our environment. And right now the collective is being asked to trust elders that shouldn't be in the places that they're in. Anybody who's dealt with any kind of toxicity, whether it was in your family of origin, whether it had to do with narcissism or other kinds of personality issues, or whether it was something that you dealt with on the playground, right? All of that stuff is coming up so I'm going to be really honest, it's coming up to be healed. But it is so painful because Cancer is the crab, and Cancer shows up low to the ground. They're very on the defensive, right? They're very safety oriented. They're not going to let anything get by them that is painful. So anything that you're doing right now that is triggering you, know that it's triggering you partially because of this collective wound, and it's triggering you primarily, I would say for me, it's the collective wound. It's what's going on in the greater stratosphere, and then everything is coming out sideways. But it also has to do with these placements. So I want to talk specifically about these placements that we're dealing with, because we're going to be dealing with them for a while. First, I talked about Mercury in Cancer, and Mercury is the communication planet. And in Cancer, the goal is to protect the environment, to protect children, to protect, right? It's the mother energy. It is the big, great, big mother in the sky who wants to make sure everybody is safe, who wants to create this matrilineal, matrifocal culture where we take care of, or harbinger for everyone, right? And we're seeing exactly the opposite right now. We're seeing this patriarchal, umbrella of unsafeness. So then that makes the mother and children hunker down more and more and more. And we have to crack through this stuff. We have to find directions to head in. We're actually in a really good situation if we look at the special elections. I'm not going to get off into the political stuff, but if we look at the special elections, the energy is on our side, but optics are designed to make us feel like it is not, so that we feel so overburdened, overwrought that we just give up in the face of this. Tears are cleansing, right? We also have Venus in Cancer. Venus is the planet of women, right? So if you're feeling, also we had Eris. We had some of these big badass women, right? Who are like, not on my watch. That happened at the earlier part of the week. So if you felt bouts of anger, and you don't have to be female, you just have to be female identified and understand that energy, right? But if you felt bouts of anger, that's totally in alignment with this, because the mother is like so protective and so on edge right now, right? And so Venus is the planet of love and beauty and women's relationships, right? So even in the face of all this patriarchal, brouhaha, we're dealing with the feminine. We're dealing with this awareness. I don't know if you clock it in the morning. Sometimes I'll be walking somewhere and a woman will catch my eyes and it's like, oh, yeah, we know what's going on. We know what's going on, right? And it's like, there's just this knowing thing that happens. And that is so much about this Venus connection. And that's why it's so important right now to move through your fears and connect with love and beauty, however you define it, right? However you see it, whether it has to do with singing or drawing or working in your garden, right? Or having a really brilliant, wonderful conversation with some people who can help you process your emotions, who you can come to in this open fashion where you don't have to defend yourself or protect yourself, whatever that looks like for you. Then we have Uranus in Gemini. So Uranus is like the bumpy planet. It's like not one thing. It's a whole bunch of things. It's pieces, parts of stuff. So what happens in the face of that is all of our parts come up to be rescued, to be saved, to be helped, like every part. And there's this really wonderful book. I'm not going to remember who wrote it, but it's called No Bad Parts, right? So the way that we heal the parts is not by stuffing them or sublimating. The way we heal the parts is by taking those parts of the self, like the shadow parts of the self, and looking at them and holding them out to the light of day and saying, it's okay that you're here. It's okay that you're feeling what you're feeling. And when we do that, we give light and illumination to those parts that we wanted to stuff away. Right now, under this administration, when they're going after all of these different marginalized groups, it's easy to feel this shame coming up in you. And it is so important that you don't allow yourself to suppress that and just feel shameful. You move through it. You connect with other people. You bring it to the light of day. I do this really interesting thing when I feel really overwhelmed. It's kind of the if-then practice. And I don't do it with clients usually because a lot of times they're not really as able to do it. But I'm really able to do it because I can cut through to the quick and I can just go boom, 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 boom. So I go, why are you doing that? Boom. And why are you doing that? Boom. And why are you doing that? Boom. And then I get to this root, right? If you think of a tree, I get to this place where the roots are in the dirt, right? That's Pluto. That is the depths of everything. And that place is the core issue that is creating all this Cthulhu, all this crap around stuff, right? And so that is a really helpful way to cut through. And then when you do that, something shifts in your body and then you can go do your things. You're not so stuck in fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. But Uranus is the planet of all of these parts, internal parts and external people. It represents situations. So I talked about this idea that we're like sublimating or going off in a different direction because we can't really handle what's right in front of our face right now. And Uranus is playing out. It wants us to reach a higher level. It wants us to reach a higher connection with something. And in the face of that, it's throwing something in our face that feels really, really overwhelming and really, really young so that we can transmute that energy. And in Gemini is the third house. And Gemini is all about all the people in our lives. It's the collective. It's the bzz, 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 all the people at the party, all the people in the government, all